Welcome and let's check out Tower of God New World over here on Idle Games TV. So here it is. The game is an idle RPG. You're going to be able to have your offline loot. Obviously you're going to be able to collect a lot of heroes. From here you're going to have this quick loot option in order for you to be able to get the next 2 hours. Try to get at least the first one with the gemstones, with the 50 gemstones. It's needed because eventually you're going to get stuck and you do need to improve your heroes. Now one good thing about this game is the fact that over here in the growth option you're going to have seashore links, okay? And what you're going to upgrade over here is going to be the slots, not the heroes. You're going to upgrade the slots, and if you're going to place other heroes over there, they're going to have the same level as the slot. Although did you not upgrade that hero, you will be able to place him. So you're just going to need to upgrade that to a specific level, and you're going to be able to place other heroes in that same spot, and you will have that damage increased. As you can see over here, you're going to have different kind of percentages for the health, for the damage, and for the defense. Those heroes that you're going to place over there will borrow that specific percentage. So you're going to have the adventure mode option over here. These are going to be the first main heroes. You're going to enter the battle and you're going to have it on auto mode, and you're going to have the 2x speed. One interesting thing is that fact, as I mentioned, the fact that you're going to be able to borrow that level towards every hero that you're going to eventually find out, because you're going to find better and better heroes as long as you're going to play this game. You're going to have SSR plus heroes, the chick with the big sword that I just found. When you're going to have 100 summons, you're going to be able to find her. Try to place the best heroes in your team and obviously mingle with them a bit. So place them in different kind of slots. If you're going to see that you cannot pass a specific level, move your heroes in a way, in a different position, and obviously put other heroes that have a faction advantage. You will see that you will lose fights, and if you are going to take a closer look, you're going to see different kind of arrows. For example, a red one that goes down, or a blue one that goes up. You're going to have an advantage or a disadvantage. Blue is an advantage, red is a disadvantage for the enemies that you're going to encounter. And you're going to want to place like for example other heroes. Like for example her over here, she has a disadvantage towards my enemies over there, but her has an advantage because she's with blue, okay? So that's what you're going to want to find. You're going to want to find, if you're going to get stuck, better heroes that are going to have an advantage. Now if you're going to go into campaign mode, quite the same idea, further and further. Eventually you're going to unlock the story mode over here. Play it as fast as you can. It's going to be easy, but from here you're going to get a lot of tickets, and with those tickets you're going to be able to do a lot of summons. If you're going to do these summons, you're going to get better and better heroes. This is going to be the guy that does the sounds for you. Quite an interesting dude. The graphic of this game is really amazing. No SSR heroes, so only SRs. Quite sucks, but hey, what can you do? Let's do one more summon and let's see if I'm going to be able to get a new one. If you're going to get the same hero, you're going to get fragments, and you're going to be able to improve your hero. Let's see, I'd rather find fade and betray my them. Okay, dude, I think I have you, I'm not sure, but no, you're a new guy. Okay, right now I have an SSR bonus over here. Now you're going to be able to select one hero from here. Depending on who are you going to select, you're going to be able to use those fragments. A new teammate, I'm going to select you. Not sure. I know that this guy is really good. Here it is, the heroes that you're going to be able to find. Now obviously the rarer they are, you're going to find out that they are really hard to get. I'm going to get this guy because I already have him, if I remember correctly. Watch out, because this game was barely lined, so for sure there are some bugs in the game, okay? But if you will play it, you will see that it's a decent idle RPG. You will have an alliance where you can join, and obviously you will be able to have alliance events where you're going to be able to fight the boss. I'm not going to jump into that, but kind of the same idea over there. With most of those idle RPGs, you're going to have the expedition mode. Now over here you're going to have the arena where you can do a PvP match. You're going to have the trial area over here. This is going to be some sort of the endless tower where you're going to go further and further and get better and better rewards. The fights are quite the same, kind of the same idea like in the campaign mode. If you're going to have an advantage or a disadvantage, watch out for that in order for you to be able to go forward and forward. Now, one interesting fact is that if you will use the same heroes, you will get improvements, okay? That's how they're going to get different kind of experience modes. One interesting fact is that every time you're going to use the same hero, you're going to get some experience points in a way for that hero, not for the slots. And if you're going to get enough of those things, you're going to be able to increase different kind of stats for that hero, like for example attack, HP, defense, and so on. I'm going to show you in a bit. So as long as you're going to use kind of the same team, kind of the same heroes, you will be able to improve them, not necessarily that only the slots, okay? So I'm not going to go into the next trial. I'm going to go towards my team in order for me to show you. So I'm going to go back over here, teammates, and let's go for this guy over here, okay? So this guy, I'm going to hit auto equip. Obviously, we're going to have the equipment. Now this is what I'm talking about. Depending on how much you're going to be able to use him, you're going to be able to level up over here the proficiency, and eventually you're going to get more experience, more defense, more attack. Afterwards, you're going to be able to get accuracy and evasion, okay? Now, after you're going to reach that high level, you not necessarily need to use kind of the same hero. You can choose a different one, and that's how you're going to be able to increase his proficiency as well. So watch out, every time you're going to mingle, choose a different kind of hero in order for you to increase his prophecy over there. You're going to have the growth, you're going to have the tri essence over here. Just unlock this thing. Every time you're going to have enough resources, come over here and try to activate all of them. Only afterwards try to reset them. First of all, only try to activate all of them because it's cost quite a lot, okay? Now go back over here in the experience. You're going to have the conquest mode over here. Now this conquest mode is kind of the maze in those idle RPGs. Over here you're going to start the virtual training, and you will have 3 different kind of floors, okay? If you're going to go and start it, oh come on, okay, so keep in mind, it's the maze. You have 3 floors. Every time you're going to move to the next floor, you're going to encounter a harder boss. You will need to reach specific tiles over here in order for you to be able to attack the boss. You're going to need to change colors from red to blue towards your color in order for you to be able to move to the next floor. So keep that in mind, really important, that factor over there in the mode. And you're going to have the mock battle over here. Now this is the world boss. Over here you're going to fight with against only one dude, but put the best heroes that you have. Although I will place her, she's my best SSR plus and the only SSR plus that I have. Now here it is, the boss. Now the storyline is quite nice. You will be able to download more and more files in order for you to hear the voices, hear the speeches. It's a lot of work in this game, so for sure give it a try. A really good graphic towards it. Really impressed about these graphics, and I do like it because it's an idle RPG. Now this is the world boss. Obviously, if you're going to be able to do damage after damage, you're going to be able to get more and more, let's say, chests, and from those chests you're going to get equipment. Now really important, farm over here daily at least those 2 tickets, obviously, because you're going to get better and better equipment, and you're going to be able to place the equipment on your hero in order for you to improve their stats. That's going to be it. Now too bad I do not have the automatic option mode on over here for this mode, but kind of the same idea. Eventually your heroes will get killed because that world boss is going to get his damage increased and obviously his health, and you're not going to be able to do and pass to the next tier and so on. So right now I'm going to just hit exit over here. I'm going to try to show you a different thing in this game as well. Here it is. I'm going to hit challenge again and do it if I do want to, but I'm not going to keep you over there. You're going to unlock more and more things. Didn't unlock everything over here. You're going to have the archives over here. Come over here every time. You're going to see that red exclamation dot in order for you to increase some percentages for different kind of heroes depending on the alliance that they have. Over here you're going to have the agency service. Over here you're going to be able to send your heroes in different kind of missions, but also let's say collect more and more rewards out of it. Do not forget about this one over here, because you're going to get a lot of items that you eventually will need. The game moves a little bit slower, don't know why, but let's hope that it's only my phone. You're going to have over here the daily quests that you do need to complete in order for you to get all the rewards. Weekly quests, you kind of know the idea, these things are happening in most of those idle RPGs. You're going to get a lot of gems that you can use in order for you to do more and more summons. The bag over here, where you're going to be able to have a lot of soul stones. It is a really weak hero, but hey, what can you do? And you're going to have active friends. Obviously, if you're going to have enough hearts over here, you're going to be able to do some summons. Not that hard, kind of the same idea with most of those idle RPGs, but I do like the fact that you're going to be able to increase the slots, not the heroes, and you're going to be able to place other ones. So watch out every time if you're going to get stuck in the campaign or whatever. Just change the heroes, change their slots in order for you to move them forward or backward, and you're going to win. Don't worry. Until next time, take care and be safe. Bye.